She walked into the courtroom confident, calm, and certain she would win. The mother demanded full custody of her child, telling the judge she was protecting her son from a dangerous and irresponsible father. Her lawyer spoke with authority. Her posture showed no fear, and the room believed her story. But then the judge asked for one final piece of evidence, a single message. A message she had written herself. As the words were read out loud in court, the air changed, faces froze. The confidence disappeared, and in that moment, everything she thought was under her control began to collapse. Custody battles are never simple. They are emotional, painful, and deeply personal. Every parent claims to act in the best interest of the child, and courts are forced to decide who is telling the truth and who is hiding it. In this case, the mother appeared responsible, organized, and prepared. She spoke about stability, routine, and safety. She painted herself as the only parent capable of raising the child properly. Many people in the courtroom nodded along because her words sounded reasonable. But what most people don't realize is that family court doesn't just listen to what you say in public. It looks closely at who you are in private, especially when emotions run high and masks fall away. The father sat quietly at the defense table, his hands folded, his eyes lowered. He did not look nervous, but he did not look confident either. He looked tired. Not the kind of tired that comes from a long day, but the kind that comes from months, even years, of emotional pressure. While the mother spoke with strength and certainty, the father chose silence. Many people in the courtroom misunderstood this silence. Some thought it meant guilt, others assumed weakness. But in family court, silence can sometimes be a strategy, especially when the truth is documented and waiting to be revealed. The mother had prepared carefully. She arrived with a thick folder of notes, highlighted pages, and a rehearsed tone. She spoke about stability, routine, and safety. She explained that she had been the primary caregiver, that she handled school schedules, doctor visits, and daily meals. Her voice was calm, controlled, and professional. She did not insult the father directly. Instead, she used subtle language. She said he was unreliable, emotionally distant, and inconsistent. Words that sound harmless on the surface but are powerful in custody cases. To the court, she presented herself as the responsible parent who simply wanted what was best for her child. As she spoke, the judge listened carefully, occasionally nodding, occasionally taking notes. The courtroom atmosphere favored her. She fit the image many people expect of a devoted parent. Organized, prepared, confident. She emphasized how important structure was for a child's development and suggested that shared custody would be confusing and disruptive. She made it sound as if her request for full custody was logical, not emotional, and for a moment, it worked. When it was the father's turn to speak, he didn't start with accusations. He didn't argue her character. Instead, he focused on facts. He talked about his work schedule, his efforts to attend school events, and his attempts to communicate peacefully. He admitted his mistakes openly, without excuses. This honesty made the room feel different. He wasn't trying to win with emotion. He was trying to show consistency. He explained how difficult it had been to maintain a relationship with his child when communication was limited, and access was often denied without explanation. The judge then turned the focus to documentation. Family court is less about stories and more about patterns. Who shows up? Who follows orders? Who communicates respectfully? The father's legal team presented records showing he had paid child support on time, followed visitation schedules, and completed parenting courses when asked. These documents didn't create drama, but they created credibility. Still, the mother insisted that none of this proved emotional fitness. She claimed paperwork could not replace daily presence. That's when the conversation shifted to communication between the parents. The judge explained that in custody cases, private communication often reveals more than public testimony. Messages written without thinking, sent in moments of anger, can expose true intentions. The mother appeared calm when this was mentioned. She believed her communication supported her case. She assumed her words reflected concern, not control. The court clerk began reviewing selected messages. At first, they were ordinary, scheduling conflicts, short arguments, missed calls. Nothing unusual for separated parents. The mother relaxed slightly. She sat back, confident that nothing damaging would appear. But then the judge paused. He asked for one specific message to be read aloud. The room grew quiet. The message was not long. It did not contain threats or profanity. It was written casually, almost carelessly, but the meaning behind it was unmistakable. In the message, the mother expressed frustration that the child enjoyed time with the father. She wrote that she wanted full custody so the child would stop choosing him and learn who really matters. Those words changed everything. As the message was read aloud, the confidence drained from her face. Her posture stiffened. She looked toward her lawyer, searching for reassurance, but none came. The message revealed something the court takes very seriously: motivation. It showed that the custody request was not only about protection or stability, it was about control, about winning, about fear of losing emotional influence over the child. The judge did not react dramatically. He did not raise his voice. Instead, he explained something many parents fail to understand. Custody is not a reward. It is not a weapon. It is a responsibility. The court's role is not to choose a favorite parent, but to protect a child's right to healthy relationships. When a parent attempts to limit those relationships out of jealousy or insecurity, it raises serious concerns. The mother tried to explain herself. She said the message was taken out of context. She claimed it was written during a moment of stress. But the judge reminded her that moments of stress are exactly when true feelings come out. He explained that children are not possessions. They are individuals who need emotional freedom, not loyalty tests. At this point, the courtroom dynamic fully shifted. The father was no longer defending himself. The mother was now defending her intentions. The judge asked direct questions. Why would a child's love for one parent be seen as a threat? Why would shared custody be framed as a loss rather than a benefit? These questions did not require legal knowledge to answer. They required self-awareness. The judge then discussed the emotional impact of parental conflict on children. He explained how children internalize pressure, how they feel responsible for adult emotions, and how being forced to choose sides causes long-term damage. He emphasized that a parent who truly acts in a child's best interest encourages love, not competition. Silence filled the room as his words settled. The mother's earlier image of calm authority was gone. She became defensive. Her answers grew shorter. Her tone lost its confidence. The court could now see the difference between her public performance and her private mindset. And in family court, that difference matters deeply. The father remained composed. He did not celebrate. He did not interrupt. He did not look at the mother when the message was discussed. This restraint worked in his favor. It showed emotional maturity. It showed that his focus was not on winning against her, but on protecting the child from further conflict. The judge reviewed all evidence again, this time through a new lens. What had once looked like a strong case for full custody now appeared unbalanced. The court recognized that granting full custody to a parent motivated by control could harm the child as emotional development. The issue was no longer who worked harder or spoke better. It was about emotional safety. In his explanation, the judge made something very clear. Parents are judged not only by what they provide materially, but by how they support a child's emotional world. A parent who respects boundaries, encourages healthy relationships, and manages their own insecurities creates a safer environment than one who seeks dominance. The judge also explained how written communication has become one of the most powerful forms of evidence in modern courtrooms. Messages do not forget. They do not soften over time. They remain exactly as written. He warned that parents must treat every message as if it could one day be read aloud in court, because sometimes it will be. By the end of the hearing, it was clear that the outcome would not match the mother's expectations. The court did not punish her, but it did set firm boundaries. Shared custody was ordered. Clear communication rules were established. Counseling was recommended to help both parents support the child emotionally. The ruling focused not on blame, but on balance. As people slowly left the courtroom, the weight of the decision lingered. The mother walked out quietly, no longer surrounded by confidence. The father took a deep breath, not in victory, but in relief. The child's future would not be shaped by control or fear, but by fairness and emotional honesty. This case became a powerful reminder of something many people overlook. In legal battles, especially those involving family, character is revealed over time. Not through speeches, but through patterns. Not through appearances, but through actions. And sometimes the smallest piece of evidence, a single message, carries the loudest truth. The ruling that day surprised many people. Custody was shared with clear boundaries to protect the child's emotional health. The mother left the courtroom in silence, no longer confident, finally realizing that words written in anger can follow you forever. This story is a reminder that truth has a way of surfacing quietly, calmly, and at the most unexpected moment. In life, and especially in family matters, integrity matters more than strategy. Because when the mask slips, it's not the loudest voice that wins, it's the honest one.